After a fantastic start to the season, we find ourselves top of the table in the championship. However, another tough test awaits us today in the form of a trip to Carrow Road. This is episode 53 of the Redmont Rangers Road to Glory career mode here on EAFC 24. Let's get into it. So, 3 games to get to, as always, in today's episode. We are starting things off with a game against Coventry City away, which we will be quick simming. We'll be following that up with a game against Preston at home at Redmont Arena to round out September. And we will be moving into October with that clash away at Norwich City, which we will be playing in full. So, 5-2-3 for this game against Coventry. Pretty much the strongest 11 that we've got. Still a little bit of competition on the wings in terms of who's going to be the primary starters. Eli Just has had a really good start to the season, so he does have the start at the moment ahead of guys like Alex Petit and Brendan Clark. Players we're very much looking to develop this season, so a good start to the episode despite a penalty miss from Daniel Jefferson. But Keane Lewis Potter gets his Redmont Rangers goal scoring off to a good start in the 9th minute, and that's the only goal of the game, but we run out 1-0 winners away at Coventry City. So another 3 points on the board. Swansea City actually lost to Luton Town as well, and they were the team that were closest to us in second place. We were only top on goal difference over Swansea, so 3 points ahead of them now. I don't remember off the top of my head who was in third and what point total they were on, but we'll see what the table is looking like after those results. So we obviously maintain our position in first, but it's actually Luton Town who beat Swansea City, who take that second place from them. Just a point behind us now in second. AFC Bournemouth just a point behind them, and Swansea City just a point behind them on 19 points rather in fourth place. Matthew Garbutt wants to prove that he's the right man for the job. So that's another position that's very much up for grabs at the moment in the Redmont starting 11. Matthew Garbutt versus Alex Lowry. We brought in Alex Lowry with high hopes, really, that he could make a big difference to the side. However, he's not really managed to do it so far. And Michael Garbutt is going to get the chance to prove himself. Alex Petit is going to come back in the side as well. And I'm going to start Samson Tavide up front. Jeriel Dorset is probably going to play very little this season, so we're going to give him the start here ahead of Burke Reeser. And other than that, the team can stay the same for this second game against Preston North End. Nobody else has played just yet, so the table is as it was a moment or two ago. At home this time against Preston, and it's a 2-2 draw. Keane Lewis Potter again getting on the score sheet. Barley Mumba notching his third of the season, so a very, very good start to the campaign for the left back. And an additional point to add to the tally, which is not bad at all. I think I said in a recent episode, maybe even the most recent couple of episodes, if we could take 4 points per episode, then I think we can't be too disappointed with that. And we've got our tally of 4 already in those first 2 games. So we're kind of going to Carrow Road and this match against Norwich City with house money, really, in terms of the points that we are looking to take. Obviously, we're going to try and win the game, but losing away to Norwich City is not going to be the worst result. I imagine they're going to be a very good side. Oh, Marko Shevchuk looks good. He's the best youth prospect we've come across so far this season. It's only the second round of scouting reports that we've had in, but his pace, his passing, his dribbling already look very good. I think he's listed as a defender, though. I think it goes from left to right in terms of the positions in the bottom right-hand corner there. But potentially not. Potentially those are, you know, left wing, striker, cam and centre midfield. But we'll sign Marko Shevchuk and see what he's looking like. Maybe Ivan Shevchuk, his younger brother, potentially as well. I think he doesn't look that good. His potential looks good, but his overall, based on his value, is probably going to be a bit lower. But I think just for the storyline of the two brothers, we're going to have to sign Ivan Shevchuk as well. We'll see what else we've got here before we adjust the starting lineup for this Norwich City game. Not a lot from England, unfortunately. And something else I've forgotten to do in the most recent couple of episodes to kick the season off is show the board objectives. So I'll actually just do that now. So we do still have the same critical objectives from last year, which we did complete. We do have a long-term objective, though, which is why those have carried over. So within 2 seasons, we need to sign 4 youth players to the senior team, play them in 20 matches, either as part of the starting 11 or coming on as a sub. So Alex Petit, Brendan Clark will be candidates for that. I think Jesse Cartwright potentially is still going to count towards that. Can't remember exactly when we promoted him to the senior side. We need to get 10 games without defeat this season. We're already on 9, so we're obviously going to be able to complete that. We have signed a crucial first-team player, and that, I believe, was Alex Lowry. We need to fight for a promotion, so I believe that means playoffs or higher, which I'm confident that we can do. We might not finish, you know, quite in the position that we are currently in first place, but I'm confident we can at least solidify ourselves in the playoff places. And again, the board want us to reach the round of 16 in the FA Cup, which I will make an effort to do in this season more so than previous. We need to make 15 million profit from youth player sales within 3 seasons as well. So I don't imagine that will happen anytime soon, but I definitely anticipate that happening within 3 seasons fairly comfortably. So those are the objectives. Let's get to the starting lineup for this game against Norwich City. I'm going to persist with Alex Lowry in midfield. Michael Garber almost certainly will come off the bench, though. I think we'll put Burke Risa back in the side. And I will just play with our strongest back 5. Lowry, Shackleton, Petit, Jefferson will be starting up front. And then Keane Lewis Potter on the left. Brendan Clark versus Eli Just. I'm going to give the spot on the bench to Brendan Clark for this particular match, and that is going to be the lineup to take on Norwich City. So let's check out their pre-match report. Burke Risa does want to be back in the side, so he will get his wish. Only 10 points so far this season for Norwich City. They're going to play a 4-4-2 formation. Jack Stacey, a couple of centre-backs who I don't really recognise, as well as a left-back Gomez, who is new to the team. They've got Christian Fasnacht, Gabi Sara they've managed to hang on to. Probably not going to happen in real life. I imagine Gabi Sara is going to be on his way before too long. And Marcelino Nunez, one of my favourite Norwich players. They've got Christos Jolis on the left-hand side, and then Josh Sargent, probably my favourite Norwich player at the moment. I love Sarge. And then Larson up front alongside him. They've got Unulis, Borja Sainz, and then a couple of other new additions on the bench as well. So a 4-star team. They look fairly well-rounded. I do just want to check out how they're going to play as well. They're going to gegenpress, and they're going to try and be patient in possession. Gabi Sara, an important or key attacking player for them. Let's jump into the press conference.
Thanks, guys. Good to see you here.
We plan to focus on the performance away at Norwich. I don't want to get distracted by the run. We are doing well to maintain this unbeaten side, but we don't want it to be a distraction.
Okay, guys,
Do have to remain focused to keep that unbeaten run going. And so let's jump into this game and see what we can do away at Norwich City. We are going to have to change our kit. Not the time to run out the third kit, but we'll just stick with our home kit. Norwich City's third kit not on here either. Norwich have actually got one of the coolest third kits I've seen this season. It's kind of 2 shades of purple. It's kind of a dark purple as the primary colour, and then like a lighter kind of lilac as the secondary colour, but each design on each shirt is unique, so there are no two identical shirts. The patterns must be, you know, randomly generated in some way. So I think that's a pretty cool idea. Every single shirt unique, kind of like a fingerprint, you know, they all look similar, but you look closely and they are all very slightly different. Never seen a team do that before, I don't think. So here we go. We do get the kickoff here at Carrow Road. And Barley Mumba, of course, playing against his old club here. We did sign him from Plymouth, but Plymouth did obtain him from Norwich City. He was initially there on loan, but he did so well there. I think he actually won League One Player of the Season, potentially, I seem to remember, for Plymouth in their promotion winning campaign. And I believe they only paid about £1 million for him in the end from Norwich. So a really good signing for Plymouth. And a good bit of business for them, you'd have to say, as we ended up paying significantly more than £1 million for the services of Barley Mumba. We'll have to be aware of Josh Sargent up front today. He's a big, powerful, strong attacker. Not too dissimilar to Daniel Jebison, but I would say Daniel Jebison more pacey than Josh Sargent, and probably more technically sound as well. It's a good cross into the box. Will it drop? For Lowry, it wouldn't. But a good cross into the box from Barley Mumba. He finds Keane Lewis Potter now, and it's actually just intercepted by Gabby Sara. And Christian Fasnacht can come away with it on this right-hand side here for Norwich. Lewis Potter does well to keep it in play there. It's a poor pass from Burke Reese, though, just selling out Jamie Shackleton. And again, Norwich come away on this right-hand side. Jack Stacey getting high up the pitch in support of his winger. Good challenge from Barley Mumba, though, and it's Redmont Rangers' turn to break now, as there's acres of space on this left-hand side. Keane Lewis Potter just finds Daniel Jebison. The centre-back's back off. It's fallen to Jamie Shackleton, who's going to have a strike at goal, and it's a good save from the goalkeeper, Angus Gunn. The Norwich City man between the sticks today, as Hans Newman watches on. Barley Mumba's going to put the corner in. Again, we're going to look for Daniel Jebison around the penalty spot. He's won the header, and he's tucked it away into the far corner. A fantastic finish from Daniel Jebison. And it's the ex-Norwich man, Barley Mumba, who notches an assist. But it's the new outright number 9 for Redmont Rangers, who ends up gifting us the lead. It's a free header for Jebison. He's got 4, at least, Norwich players around him. And there's 2 additional Norwich players just completely alone in the 6-yard box. None of them challenged Daniel Jebison. And if you give him a free header like that, he's absolutely going to put it away. So, a really disappointing start for Norwich City. But a really good start for Redmont Rangers. We haven't had to work too hard for the lead in this particular game. Just get the ball down the field, win a set piece, and then just free header. And that's all it takes. Good defender from Keane Lewis Potter, and again he can come away on this left-hand side, rather, for Redmont Rangers. Daniel Jebison making the run in behind, but that was the only help that Keane Lewis Potter had. Oh, a nice little reverse ball inside for Marcelino Nunez to pick up. Burke Reese just steps up and makes the interception, though. Josh Key outside him. Just recycled the ball, though, with Caleb Taylor. And work it across that back 5. Oh, a good challenge from Josh Sargent there. There we see the industriousness of the Norwich City attacker as well. Another strength of his game. Dealt with easily from Josh Key there, though. And we've got an out ball up that right-hand side in the form of Alex Petit. But very well defended by Gabby Sara. Alex Lowry really trying to find his role in the side. We brought him in to be our primary creative player, really, in midfield. We put Jamie Shackleton alongside him as that player who's going to be putting in the effort, but putting in the work rate, winning the ball back, recycling possession. It's a poor one from Jesse Cartwright, and Josh Sargent is in. He tries to square the ball rather than take the shot on himself, though was probably a little too unselfish there. And he probably would have been better served taking a shot on himself. Tried to square it instead. And Caleb Taylor was there to intercept. And again, there's space here. Daniel Jebison with the ball at his feet, but Alex Petit alone on the right-hand side here. Drives towards the box, pulls it back towards Daniel Jebison. But the challenge from the Norwich City player puts it out for a corner instead. Here is that goal again from Daniel Jebison. A good header. Potentially the goalkeeper could have done better, but he was about 7 yards out. He was completely unmarked. There wasn't too much Angus Gunn could have done about that one, I don't think. So Barley Mumba again with the cross. Gets it back out on his right foot. Headed away by Norwich, but only as far as Burke Reeser. He tries to cross on his left foot himself, but it's blocked it out for a throw-in. So Redmont looking to pin Norwich back inside their own final third here. Some space for Caleb Taylor, but all 11 men behind the ball for Norwich City now, so not too much on ahead of him. Jesse Cartwright just spreads the play over to the right-hand side. A nice little reverse pass from Caleb Taylor into Daniel Jebison. Alex Lowry had made a good run into the box, but Jebison unable to find him. We'd like those roles to be reversed, really. Daniel Jebison making the run in behind, and Alex Lowry trying to slip the pass through. He does have those 5 play styles that made him such an attractive proposition for us. Really well worked from Redmont, but the pass from Keane Lewis Potter in the end was poor. There was another opportunity on if Lewis Potter was able to find Jebison there. Well worked from Norwich City down their left-hand side. Again, it's good defending from Redmont, though. I pointed this out in the last episode. We do very well just to get players behind the ball and defend very tight and very compact. We've made it really difficult for teams to get in behind us and really create any clear-cut opportunities. And we see another good example of that there. Norwich City causing problems on the edge of the Redmont area. But again, there's just too many players for them to work their way through. And that's poor from Daniel Jebison, just inviting another Norwich City attack, when he probably would have been better served just trying to maintain possession as he has done there. It's our defence primarily that has been the main reason for the rapid improvement over the course of the last couple of seasons. We've always been a high scoring side, but in the past we've given up almost as many goals as we've scored, and that's really changed over the last season and a half or so. We had a massive goal difference last season, not just because of the goals scored, but because of the lack of goals conceded. And again, it looks like it's going to continue to be the case this season in the Championship. Ipswich, of course, looking to achieve back-to-back promotions in real life at the moment. Promoted from League One last year, and they currently sit in second place in the Championship. So looking to achieve the same feat here. And it's a good challenge as Daniel Jefferson tries to find Alex Lowry. Norwich City have really upped their game the last 10-15 minutes or so. We haven't really managed to create much at all since we scored the opener with that free header from Daniel Jefferson, and even that was, I mean, it was a clear-cut chance, but it was never a chance that we should have been allowed to have. It's a good shot, but it's blocked well from Jesse Cartwright. And the referee's given a penalty. Roman Hewitt comes out to try and smother the bouncing ball. The Norwich City attacker, Josh Sargent, had gone in to try and challenge for the ball as well. And the referee has deemed that Roman Hewitt made contact with Sargent and not with the ball. And he's ended up given a penalty. I imagine that should really have been a booking if it's going to be a penalty. And Roman Hewitt has gone the right way. I was just about to say Roman Hewitt saved the penalty, and it's probably what I should have been saying. He went the right way. The penalty was a really poor one, you have to say, from Gabi Sara. It's almost straight down the middle. But that ends up working in Gabi Sara's and in Norwich's favour, because Roman Hewitt kind of dived over the ball there. As a goalkeeper, you don't anticipate the ball being just slightly to your left or your right hand side. You anticipate it's either right towards the corner of the goal, or the taker is going to go straight down the middle. For it to be just a foot or so to your left or to your right, it's going to be really difficult to deal with. Because, of course, as a goalkeeper, you do have to just predict where the penalty is going to go. You don't have the time to react to the shot. You just have to pick a side and hope. So if you're already trying to dive all the way towards that left-hand post, and then it's just a foot or so to the side of you, it's going to be difficult to adjust to. Well-worked move down that left-hand side again. Keane Lewis-Potter and Bali Mumba combining really well. Bali Mumba's been very, very good making those overlapping runs. Not just today, but all season so far. Couldn't find Daniel Jefferson on the pullback, though, as Redmont look to reclaim the lead that they have just relinquished via that penalty. Approaching the half-time whistle then. Alex Petit trying to get the ball back in play as quick as possible to launch one final Redmont Rangers attack. But it looks like the referee's going to blow his whistle before they're able to do so. Josh Key, though, has galloped in behind the Norwich City left-back, and the referee hasn't blown his whistle yet. And Daniel Jefferson did just have time to launch a strike at the goal from about the halfway, from about the edge of the penalty area. So one final opportunity for Bali Mumba and Redmont Rangers from this corner. It's going to be whipped in towards that near post. It's an overhead kick from Alex Petit. Chipped in towards the back post from Bali Mumba, but just claimed in the end by Alex Gunn. So Angus Gunn, rather. No idea why I just called him Alex. So 1-1 at the halfway point. A poor goal for Norwich to concede, you would have to say. Allowing Daniel Jefferson that free header. And then a disappointing one for Redmont Rangers to concede as well via that penalty. But a very even game based on possession, passes attempted, even on shots as well. It's been a pretty cagey affair so far. Not too many chances created in the game so far. Probably the two most clear-cut chances have led to goals. So we'll see how the game progresses and develops over the course of the second half. I would certainly be happy enough with a draw away at Norwich. That would give us a total of 5 points from the episode. And I think that would be a respectable enough tally to come away with. Considering we had 2 games away from home, one of which is at Carrow Road. Alex Petit just harrying the Norwich City left back. Gabi Sara, Marcelino Nunez combining well in the centre of midfield so far. 2 very creative players. That should be an area that we're able to exploit, really, because they are both very much attacker-minded players. So maybe a little less than stellar defensively in the centre of the park, Norwich City. It's not something we've been able to exploit too much during the game so far. And Jesse Cartwright's just going to have to get rid here because Josh Sargent was in the area applying pressure. And Daniel Jebison's just going to try and drop one in behind for Lewis Potter to run onto. It's dealt with well by Jack Stacey, though. And Norwich City come away down their right-hand side. Again, it's good possession play from Norwich City. They've done well to keep the ball today. That is something the pre-match report did tip us off about. They're going to be patient in possession. That's really well worked, though. But Josh Key trying to cut inside, gives the ball back. We've done well to work the ball out of a tight space there and kind of circumnavigate the Norwich City high press. Alex Lowry nabs it back from Norwich City, though, and Petit comes away with it. Lowry might just be offside, and he is. It's going to be a tight one, but he did look offside in the first instance, as Josh Sargent gets the first booking of the game for his late challenge on Jesse Cartwright. He didn't end up getting as much of Jesse Cartwright as it looked like he might, but it was a late challenge, deserving of a booking. I think we're going to have to consider changes that we might want to make as we approach the hour mark here. I think Michael Garbett is going to be a player that we do want to bring on. Probably for Alex Lowry, who again has failed to make an impact in the game, really. So we'll see if Michael Garbett can string a few passes together and unlock the door to the Norwich City defence. It's a good ball in for Gabi Sara and blocked by Burke Rieser. And the Norwich City fans in full voice as their team get a corner. Bali Mumba's going to go over to take away the short option. Does well to take the ball from Gabi Sara. But Norwich City work it across the penalty area, and there's a miscommunication there between Burke Rieser and Jesse Cartwright. Neither player closing down Josh Sargent, who had the ball at his feet. And he just fires it into the far corner. Nothing Roman Hewitt could do about that. But we can see here Burke Rieser kind of steps off, anticipating Jesse Cartwright to go over. Jesse Cartwright did the same. And that leaves Josh Sargent in far too much space. And like Daniel Jebison earlier in the game, if you give him an opportunity like that, he is going to punish you. So let's make a couple of changes here. Alex Lowry is going to come off for Michael Garbett. Petit hasn't made too much of an impact on the game either, so we're going to give Brendan Clark a run out as well and see what he can do. So 2 attacking substitutions from Hans Newman. I think potentially we'll just up our game plan to attacking as well. We don't need to go ultra attacking just yet. However, if we do remain a goal down, I am certainly willing to do that. I'm not too precious about my defensive record. I would rather lose 3-1 and try and get a result than lose 2-1 and just kind of sit back and accept defeat. So we don't want to push too early, though. His ultra attacking, of course, is going to leave some gaps open for Norwich to exploit. So that's going to be a last resort kind of option. The last 10 minutes of the game or so, if we are still 2-1 down. Throw into Jamie Shackleton, who has good feet. He's going to shoot with his left foot. And it's beaten away by Angus Gunn. It was a very, very good shot from Jamie Shackleton. Burke Reeser can just pick the ball up here. Plays it into Shackleton again. Finds Barley Mumba. Barley Mumba finds Jamie Shackleton, who again is looking like he's going to shape to shoot. And again, he gets the shot on target. But again, it's comfortably saved by Angus Gunn. Straight at him this time. Well, one from Caleb Taylor. After Angus Gunn's long goal kick down the field. I think Samson Tavide is going to be the next change that we make. Coming on probably for Daniel Jebison. Although Brendan Clark is driving towards the Norwich City box at the moment. Couldn't do anything with it at the end. In the end. But looked dangerous for a moment there. Dangerous ball played across to Angus Gunn. And he does well just to shake Michael Garbutt off and clear the ball. Josh Sargent continuing to press high. Worked wide to Barley Mumba, inside to Jamie Shackleton, but Norwich City are all over that. And again, Gabby Sara comes away with the ball. I might potentially leave Daniel Jebison on if we do bring Samson Tavide on. But it's Keane Lewis Potter who's found some space here. And that's a penalty to Redmont. And it is indeed. I was wondering if the referee was going to give it for a moment. But he does blow his whistle. And it had to be. Jack Stacey with a poor challenge. Keane Lewis Potter in the box with the ball at his feet. Just shifts his body to one side. Jack Stacey can't keep up with him. And it's a second penalty of the game. Keane Lewis Potter has got the ball and is preparing to take it at the moment. I would prefer Daniel Jebison to take it though. So he will do just that. And away to the left-hand side. Angus Gunn goes the opposite direction. And it's 2-2. So Redmont Rangers back in the game. Very, very good penalty from Daniel Jebison. Much better than Gabriel Sara's penalty. And Redmont Rangers are back level with about 15 minutes to go plus injury time. I think we're going to leave it on our attacking game plan for the moment. Daniel Jebison picked the ball straight up out of the back of the net and ran back to the centre spot. You know, he's looking to win the game. He's not happy to settle for just a draw. And I think we should take his lead and really try and push and win the game here. Josh Key doing exactly that. Plays a great ball through to Brendan Clark. He's going to have to use every ounce of his pace that he's got. Not quite enough to leave the Norwich City player behind though. Michael Garbutt in some space and gets a shot off. Keane Lewis Potter challenging on the edge of the box. No foul there according to the referee. But it could be a Keane Lewis Potter injury as he does stay down. Angus Gunn again with the ball inside his own 6-yard box. Twisting and turning away from Redmont Rangers players as they press him. Trying to force him into a mistake. We'll have to see whether Keane Lewis Potter is able to stay on the pitch then, or whether he is going to have to come off. I might bring him off just to be safe. No, nice ball inside, but Jamie Shackleton had just taken an extra step forward and the pass ended up just sliding behind him. So I think potentially I'm going to bring Tavide on that left wing in place of Keane Lewis Potter. Jesse Cartwright gives up the corner there, but it looked dangerous for a moment, so a corner is fine in that scenario. So Tavide will come on. Baker will also come on in the centre of midfield for Jamie Shackleton, who again has put in a very good performance. Looks like they've finally fixed the substitution board there. It always used to be that the player coming off was in green and the player coming on was in red, which is obviously the wrong way round. But it was the right numbers that time, so it looks like that's been fixed. Oh, and Josh Sargent again in a good position, and he fires home. I thought we'd done enough to block the shot. Burke Reese had thrown himself to the ground. But Josh Sargent doesn't fire it across goal. Instead, he fires towards the near post. Burke Reese certainly thought he was going the opposite way. Roman Hewitt, it seems, thought so as well. Roman Hewitt did actually dive the right way, but there was too much on the shot. And potentially that's where the positioning of Roman Hewitt is going to come back to haunt us. We did say at the start of the season, and that's really, really poor from the kickoff. And Josh Sargent already is in the Redmont area again. Caleb Taylor unable to win the ball. And Roman Hewitt's absolutely incensed with his defence. We did say at the start of the season it's going to be a close run thing between Roman Hewitt and Nathan Baxter for that number 1 shirt. And really it's the positioning of Roman Hewitt. And how has he saved that? Sargent was offside in the end. It was a good save from Roman Hewitt. Point blank range. Well, not quite point blank. But again, about 12 yards out. But completely unmarked. More so than point blank range. Just nobody around him. Got the shot off. Made a really good save. Fell to the feet of Josh Sargent. Immediately in front of Roman Hewitt. And somehow he made the save. I'm not sure how much he knew about the second one. I'm not sure he knew too much about the second one. But Josh Sargent in the end in an offside position anyway, so... Good challenge from Jesse Cartwright, but the referee gives a free kick. Cartwright did well just to use his size and his strength to usher the Norwich City player off the ball, but the referee apparently seen an infringement there, not too sure where. But Risa does well to nab the ball away. And Tavide can come away with it on this right-hand side. He has got a Norwich City defender for company, but he's got the pace to beat him. Just pulls it back in towards Daniel Jefferson. It's not the best cross, though. He's not a winger, Samson Tavide. I hope I haven't called him Samuel Tavide. I almost called him that just then. Again, a good challenge from Burke Reester. It's Barley Mumba this time who's going to come away with the ball. He's got Redmont Rangers players ahead of him, and he doesn't manage to find them. Really poor pass from Barley Mumba. We are in the ultra-attacking game plan now, into the 5 minutes of extra time. So really we're going to have to win the ball back almost immediately if we are going to have one last attack of the game. We have managed to win it back, but too many Norwich players in the vicinity, and it falls again to Josh Sargent, but he completely muffs the shot. And we're going to have to get the ball out into the feet of a Redmont Rangers player and up the field. I didn't want to kick it long just because there's a chance that Norwich just win the ball back in the air. And a bad challenge on Barley Mumba. It's going to be one last opportunity to put the ball into the box for Redmont Rangers. And it's high and lofted. Angus Gunn comes out to claim. And the referee blows the full-time whistle. So it is defeat here away at Norwich City. We took the lead early in the game. But Norwich City back in it at half-time. It was Norwich City who then took the lead via Josh Sargent. Daniel Jefferson did well to pull a goal back for Redmont Rangers. 2 on the day for him. But a second goal from Josh Sargent late in the game just 7 minutes from time was enough to secure victory for Norwich. So our first defeat of the episode and our first defeat in quite some time. As you can see, an even game there. It was almost 50-50 at halftime in most of the important statistics. And you can see that Norwich City just had a better second half. They probably deserved the victory, to be fair, on the balance of play. Swansea City with just a draw is the only important result that I can see there. Barley Mumba apparently is injured. He must have got injured right at the very end there then. I didn't happen to see how long he was out for, but I'm sure we'll have an email informing us. Should Daniel Jefferson's performance have won the game? He couldn't do it on his own. He's had a very, very good start to the season. How do we reflect on the unbeaten run? It's been great for belief. Something we'll definitely need this season, a lot of confidence as we try and go for back-to-back promotions. So let's just see how long Barley Mumba is out for. He's broken his toe and is out for 3 months. Keane Lewis Potter in the same game broke his toe and is out for 3 months. So this is something you do see in FC 24. Lots of players get broken toes. That's the most common injury. I don't mind too much what the injury is. I just want a nice balance of, time frames for injuries. 5 days, 7 days, 2 weeks, 1 month, 3 months, that kind of thing. I don't care what it says the injury actually is. But that's a massive, massive blow. We're losing we're losing our entire left side of our starting lineup, to be honest. So Duarte is going to have to step up and play a role. Eli Just is going to have to do the same. That starting position is going to go back to him. So we are slightly short in terms of reserve players now as well. So this was the plan for this season. Have a small squad and just have players out on loan that we can recall if we do get into a pinch. 2 of your most important players being injured would certainly be considered a pinch. So Dorset, his secondary position is left back. I'm not happy with him playing left wing back though. That's a whole nother kettle of fish. So it is going to be Oscar Duarte. But if he gets tired or even injured himself, we're really going to be struggling in terms of fullbacks. We do have Rory Atkinson out on loan, who we can always recall if we need to. But between Eli Just and Brendan Clark, I think we're going to have enough in terms of wingers that we don't have to call anyone back just yet. But we do have the option there. Maya Walter, of course, who has played games for Redmont Rangers already, probably actually would be the first player that we would recall ahead of the previous guy who we just mentioned. Don't see a need to call anyone back just yet, though. We'll round out the episode with a check on the table and on the calendar, as we usually do. So Luton take first position in the league from us. We are just a point behind them, though, as are Bournemouth and Swansea. West Brom just 2 points behind Luton Town as well. So very tight, very congested at the top of the table, and that's what you would expect so early in the season. We're about a quarter of the way through the season now, and it does look like those automatic promotion places and those playoff places are going to be very tightly contested. Let's see what we're going to be doing in the next episode then in terms of opposition. Luton Town is a juicy, juicy fixture. That's going to have to be the one that we play in the next episode. So we'll kick things off with that game at home. And then we will be quick simming games against Huddersfield and against Blackburn. So another positive episode all in all. We did get the 4 points that we were looking for, but a pretty disastrous end with a loss against Norwich City and 2 of our players out for 3 months. So we'll look to bounce back in the next one. Hope to see you there. Take it easy.